Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream, live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin, we'll talk about the news, we'll talk about altcoins. Going to move some crypto around for you guys. And as always, I'm going to do my very best to get to your questions and see if we can't solve your problems here in the stream. So welcome. I'm here with the rig and my Bitcoin light, which my dad gave me a couple of Christmases ago. Very thoughtful gift on his part. We are snowed in here in Michigan right now. There's people going back and forth, but I didn't shovel my driveway, so and I'm not in the mood, so we're not going anywhere. We didn't go anywhere today. Well, we might go out tomorrow. I'm not sure. But it's fun. My family really likes the snow, my wife especially, and we have a husky who she's got him on TikTok, and it's so funny. He just he goes out there in the snow and just plops down and just sits there. I'm like, okay. But enough about me. Let's jump in. I want to thank everyone that is here that filtered into the live stream. Let's go over here. So once again, I want to thank Kenny and Mr. Kenny for being here early. Mr. Miskey was also here early. Hans Hannah 350, welcome. Simona Mulen, thank you for being here. And Sharon Marie Sill, as always, it's a great pleasure to have you here. MT, thanks for being here. Eric, DR, I am doing fine. Thank you for asking. Barbara K, always nice to have you here. ISM, what's up? That's, well, it's not Bitcoin today, but we're going to talk about that a little bit. Let's see. Emmanuel is here. Thank you so much for being here, Emmanuel. Amsterdam, Holland. And here we go. Yeah, I wanted to briefly, let me see if I can do this without revealing too much personal information. I think I did it. Okay. So if we look at our live, our ledger, whoops, I'm sorry, that was Wednesday. Let's look at last week. The big story last week was that we were at 43, right? And this week, we're pretty much at 43. Let's take a look at that. Well, we're at 42,958. So a lot of people that maybe aren't familiar with the crypto market, they always ask why it's going down. What's going on with Bitcoin? Why is it going down? They never question it when it goes up, right? I've never heard anyone go, why the hell is Bitcoin going up, right? So it did go down. It was like up there at, I believe, flirting with 49,000 right around the day the ETF was approved. But it's come back down again, and that's just one of the things that Bitcoin does. And a lot of people felt comforted by that it did pull down a little bit. So I'm going to jump into these news stories, but I did want to make you aware that in the description down below is a brief overview of the stories we're going to talk about. The discussion topic for the day, which I feel is very important, seed phrase security. And I've got a bunch of affiliate links here, and I've got all of the news stories linked here. These two down here are Reddit. Well, this is a Reddit post, and then this is something from Mastering Bitcoin by Andreas Antonopoulos. I was trying to find this little section last week, and I couldn't. So I made sure that I pulled it up. I'm going to read that off when we get into the seed phrase security. Whoa, Jubei, thank you for that subscription. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. I was watching a movie earlier and had the volume up. So thank you so much for that subscription. And let's see, I kind of lost my train of thought. We've got all of the affiliate links and all of the news stories, and I've got that little section that I want to read off to you guys. So let's jump in And the big story, of course, the historic story, is that the BTC or Bitcoin ETF was approved on Thursday by the SEC. And during the first 2 days of the Bitcoin, well, it says 2 trading sessions. I thought it was just Friday, but I don't know. Let's find out what they're talking about here, because it went live Friday morning, if I'm not mistaken. Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust experienced an outflow of $579 million in its first days of trading after redemption was opened under the U.S. SEC approval. The newly launched Bitcoin exchange-traded funds have seen inflows totaling $1.4 billion in the first 2 trading sessions, according to Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric Balchunkas. He's going to kill me. A total of 500,000 trades were made on the funds, totaling a trading volume of $3.6 billion, according to the data from Bloomberg. Trading volume considers the outflows and inflows from the funds. Suggested that the numbers may be adjusted due to transactions awaiting account settlement, but that's a lot of activity. The data reveals Grayscale's ETF and a Grayscale Bitcoin Trust experienced an outflow of $579 million during the period after deducting the outflows from the GBTC, and the net inflows across the products stood at $819 million. The fund's initial activity so far aligned with previous predictions from the ETF analyst James Seffart, who believes Bitcoin ETFs could attract around $10 billion in the first year. So we saw a lot of activity, but the price of Bitcoin did drop the day of. I think when we started trading, the price of Bitcoin dropped quite a bit, and but not to worry. Ethereum was on a tear that day. So let's jump over to that. Ethereum price jumps 20% versus Bitcoin as BlackRock boosts Ethereum ETF bets. Ethereum ETF value is acknowledged by CEO Larry Fink as ETH's price rises sharply in both US dollars and BTC terms. So right now we're at 25.74. I think it was a little bit above 2,600 yesterday or the day before. I'm not sure. But Ethereum reaching a 52-week high. More than 20% against Bitcoin. Now, when you talk about against Bitcoin and Ethereum, we're talking about a swap pair. And there's a ratio that Dan likes to talk about all the time between Bitcoin and Ethereum. And most exchanges will allow you to swap Bitcoin for Ethereum 1-to-1 without having to go out into cash. Now, it's still a taxable event if there was a net profit or a net loss. I mean, you want to calculate your net losses too to help you. But it's sort of like I can swap Bitcoin for Ethereum and vice versa, and not really have to put in or take out any cash. And that's one of Dan's things that he talks about quite often. So pretty cool. So that ratio, Bitcoin to Ethereum, was like 20% gain. ETH BTC pair rising from yearly lows of 0.0478 on January 9th to hit 0.0587 on the day. And then also, the price of Ethereum in terms of US dollar also broke out. Against Bitcoin, a bullish divergence on the moving average divergence. Say that 10 times quick. Indicator on weekly time frames is the current topic of interest for popular traders. The largest altcoin joins several other large cap tokens in beating Bitcoin's returns this week. For the entire week, Ethereum fared better. So pretty cool. Of course, the buzz is that there will be an Ethereum ETF, and seems like the floodgates are open now. We could be seeing more crypto-based ETFs in the future. So things are looking good. And, and if you're worried about the price of Bitcoin, remember what I said about last week's where we were, celebrating 43, right? We're right around that now. So, what a difference a week makes. So don't get all hung up on the day-to-day price movements of cryptocurrencies, right? You're just going to drive yourself nuts. So I wanted to talk about a couple of interesting subjects tonight. I hope I don't bore you guys too much. And of course, I'm going to keep an eye over there for any questions that may be filtering in there. A lot of people giving me Happy New Year's. I appreciate that. Ali from Holland. That's cool. Chris Wayne from Australia. And Amsterdam, Holland is here. Yeah. James Wild. Terry, hello from CryptoDad's. And LR from Northern British Columbia, Canada. Cool. Good to have you. Good to have you. And so I wanted to cover now. This is a pretty good post and a good description, and I have it linked down below if you want to read it in more detail than I might cover here. But I just kind of want to talk about the language that people use when it comes to crypto scams. And I get a lot of questions. I told you I always hate that question. Rex, is it safe? They always ask me that. Rex, is the ledger safe to use? Is it safe to use the Trezor with DeFi? Is it safe to use this wallet or that wallet? Everyone wants to know if it's safe. And you get this feeling that, a wallet is either safe or not. Right? And that's not really the best way to consider wallets. So let's take a look at this scam here, and we'll point out some of the language here. Now, he admitted in his edit, obviously, I think this was after he got a couple of comments, he sort of changed his tune in this edit. But let's talk about his original language. Sunday, January 7th, 2024, I was the victim. Okay, there we are, victim. All right, so a lot of people think when they talk about crypto hacks, they say, oh, I'm the victim, right? So it absolves you of any personal responsibility, right? I was the victim. I'm not bagging on this guy, right? I really feel bad for him. And he updated his language a little bit. But this is a very common term when people talk about, getting hacked in a crypto scam. And the word hack is not really accurate. So let's go on a little. A software phishing scam that ended in the unauthorized withdrawal. Okay. So someone else did this to me. Someone else stole my crypto, unauthorized withdrawal of $15,000 worth of crypto from my Ledger wallet. Unbeknownst to me, my PC had been corrupted. Okay, well, here's another one. It wasn't my fault. The PC was corrupted. Well, how do PCs get corrupted? Because you click on links, because you download malware, because maybe you don't have malware security like Malwarebytes, anti-malware, or antivirus software. I use Malwarebytes. I don't think I have it running at the moment, but I use ESET, Internet Security, which is a firewall, and it's a antivirus. So if I click on a link to a shady website, I'll get a pop-up. I'll get an alert that tells me that, hey, this site is, dangerous. But that's common, right? Oh, I didn't do anything. I didn't know anything. It just happened, right? My PC, upon opening the Ledger Live application, right? So he launches Ledger Live, or at least he thinks he's launching Ledger Live. A fake version of the app had deployed, prompting me to share sensitive information. All right, so the fake version of the app asked him for his seed phrase, fairly obvious, right? And this is where he gave up his crypto. All of this stuff here that happened to him, he would not have lost any crypto at all unless he had typed in his seed phrase. So until he typed in his seed phrase, this was a largely ineffective attack, if you can consider it an attack, right? And I guess I would. Edit. Yes, this is my fault. I entered my seed phrase truly thinking I was factory resetting my wallet. So he thought that he was resetting his wallet. So obviously the fake software told him that, you know, there was a problem and that he needed to reset his wallet, I guess, or he thought he needed to reset his wallet. And so in order to do this, the faux software told him you need to enter your seed phrase. So one of the things that you can do to avoid this kind of problem is practice, practice, practice. Set up a wallet, wipe a wallet, restore a wallet, wipe it again, restore it again. Just do all that stuff so that you get the feel for the process that you go through. And had he done this a couple of times, if he had done a test restore or something like that, he would know that in order to factory reset his wallet, he doesn't need to enter his seed phrase. All he has to do is enter his PIN incorrectly 3 times and the wallet will default to factory, right? I do not blame Ledger. So a lot of people will blame Ledger, right? We get a lot of this, why doesn't Ledger do something about this? Right? They think it's Ledger's fault that there are people masquerading as Ledger and installing malware on people's computers, right? There are a lot of things that Ledger can do to maybe educate people or to make their software more robust and all that kind of stuff. But it's not Ledger's fault that people are clicking links on in emails. And that's usually what happens. You get an email, they say it's Ledger, they have all the Ledger logos and everything else. You think it's from Ledger, you click a link, and then it launches it looks like Ledger Live, but it's kind of in your browser. Either that or it wants you to install an app that it claims is Ledger Live. But usually it's a browser-based application that looks like Ledger Live. And then at some point it asks you to enter your seed phrase. So, so he obviously had some malware on his computer because he ran Malwarebytes, which you can run after the fact. To remove malware. Malwarebytes is a great program and it's also free. I used to use this a lot when I was doing computer consulting on Macs because it's a free tool. You can download it and run it and clean malware off a computer for free. If you want to subscribe to their service, then it will run in the background and alert you before the fact. But it is a great tool to use if if you're pretty sure you've got malware on your computer. It's a great free tool to download. So he did that, and then when he tried to quarantine those files that Malwarebytes found, he got a pop-up that said, hey, you're not supposed to be here. I closed it immediately after one popped up saying, if you don't get out of here, your computer is really going to be messed up. Got it? Scary, yes, but that's not how malware works, right? So he did a full reinstall, reformat of his computer. He didn't really need to do that. He could have run Malwarebytes. There are ways that maybe you boot in safe mode in Windows that will allow you to, clean up certain malware that sort of gets loaded into memory when you start off. So there are ways to get rid of malware without having to wipe your computer completely clean. The hackers robbed me of the following funds. Well, robbed is a pretty good word, but basically he gave them those funds by giving them his seed phrase. But robbed is Well, rob usually involves a gun. It's more of a steal than a rob. But I'm like splitting hairs here. But yeah, steal or rob. That's a lot of crypto. I'm really feel bad for him, but everybody in the comments was trying to make, press in that lesson that, never, never, never enter your seed phrase into your computer. And if you've done a couple of setups and restores, wipes and restores, you and get a feel for it, then you won't be pulled into these kind of things, right? They always use fear. They want to make you think you've already lost your crypto, and that somehow they're going to get it back for you. And then, the kicker is they want you to enter that seed phrase because they're going to help you. And that's the scam right there. Also, I wanted to talk a little bit about managing your seed phrase. I've got a little a box over here I can show you. I spoke with someone. He wanted some help with me, and he wanted to know if I could help him with this elaborate security scheme that he had devised on his own for storing his seed phrases. Basically, he said, well, I'll put it in a safe, I'm going to spread it out across different cities. I'll put them in different safe deposit boxes, but I'm not putting the seed phrase in those boxes. I'm putting numerical codes that correspond to constellations that I'm familiar with. And using those numbers and codes, I can regenerate my seed phrase. This is really a bad idea. I get a lot of people that try to roll their own security because they're worried someone's going to find their pristine seed phrase that they've written down. The problem with all of that is that at some point, if you want to die with your crypto, great. But if you're going to be trying to have your loved ones get that after you die, you're going to need to leave instructions for them that are clear, that explain how to derive that seed phrase from these coded messages that are, being held in different bank accounts all over the world. So those instructions need to be hidden as well. So now you've just recreated the same problem that you're trying to solve, right? Oh, I've got this seed phrase that I'm worried someone's going to find it. So now I've got this elaborate program, but I need detailed instructions to give to my loved ones, and now I'm in the same boat, right? I got to hide those so nobody finds them. So best practice is to write down your seed phrase and store it in a safe place. And I wanted to, this book was written by Andreas Antonopoulos. This is the quintessential book on Bitcoin. And you can get this book. You can read this book for free if you go, Mastering Bitcoin GitHub, right? The book is stored on GitHub, the second edition. I think the printed edition is maybe the third edition now. But you can, on GitHub, you can just go down here and read the book, right? In its entirety. Yeah. So I was trying to find this little section last week, and I was looking back and forth. I probably scrolled right past it. But here he talks about setting up a wallet for the first time. Write down your 12 or 24 words and make at least 2 copies, right? And he says that mnemonic phrase is the more technical, correct term for backup phrase, but a lot of people call it the seed phrase or the 12 or 24 word backup phrase. But here is that warning, right? And I want to read this out because a lot of people maybe didn't get this. This is coming from an expert, right? Never attempt a DIY security scheme that deviates in any way from the best practice recommendations in storing the mnemonic safely, which is up here. 2 copies. Do not cut your mnemonic in half. Don't make screenshots. Don't store on USB drives, email or cloud drives. Encrypt it. Don't encrypt it. Or try any other non-standard method. You will tip the balance in such a way as to risk permanent loss or theft. Many people have lost funds not from theft, but because they tried a non-standard solution without having the expertise to balance the risks involved. The best practice recommendation is carefully balanced by experts and suitable for the vast majority of users. Well, there you have it, right? So don't try to get creative. You're just going to screw yourself up. And I think I talked about this last week. And so if you pass away and your loved ones get a letter from you, you've left with your lawyer or you've left in a safety deposit box, and that has a seed phrase. Well, that even if your loved ones don't know anything about wallets, they can ask for help to get access to that crypto. It's an industry standard seed phrase, right? 12 or 24. But if you leave them a whole bunch of code that leads to a seed phrase, well, you did that, right? You created. No one else in the world knows what you did, right? They're having to rely completely on your little scheme. And so now you've sent your loved ones on some kind of scavenger hunt, trying to track down or recreate this seed phrase based on all of these crypto puzzles that you left for them, cryptic puzzles, right? So please don't do that, right? Okay, well, I don't know what's happened. I haven't got anybody coming in here. It's been a while. I don't have anybody. I think, yeah, there it is. Well, no, I don't know if I'm still streaming or not. Okay, it's been a while since any comments. Is anybody there? I usually get comments coming in pretty steady. All right, let me look at my internet here, make sure. I guess I was having some trouble with my internet earlier. I had to reboot my modem. So if there's any questions, please throw them out there. Because I'm out of news. Okay, there, boom, somebody's there. Okay, I was like, I guess you're like, man, what the hell is he talking about? Okay, so I wanted to kind of show you guys a wallet here. I don't have any Bitcoin at the ready to transfer back and forth. So I'm just going to show you this wallet. I ordered this from CoinKite. And I think it's a really cool, it's funny that there's some black in there so you can see behind it. It's a really cool wallet. And it's called a tap signer. It's from CoinKite. So I wanted to quickly set this up. I've shown you guys the Tangem wallet many times, so I just wanted to let you know that there are a lot of companies that are taking advantage of this technology. So let's go over here to, let's see, I got to get this up, and let's go over here. Okay, perfect. Everything seems to be, yeah. And boy, did I finagle earlier today to get all these cameras up and running. So these are Tangem cards. I have 3 different card sets. These 3 cards are what we might call the primary cards of the set, but the backup cards are interchangeable. So if I lose my primary, I can just pull the backup out of a drawer and it works just like the primary card, right? So you get 3 backups. Now, the original Tangem sets did not have seed phrase support. This is one of the original ones. So if you lose all 3, you lose all your crypto, right? But there's a lot of advantages to that system because you never see your seed phrase, right? We were talking about revealing your seed phrase. So with the Tangem system, you never see your seed phrase. And so you don't have to worry about writing it down. It's much easier to set up the wallet, and you don't have to worry about accidentally revealing it. So it solved one of the biggest issues with people doing self-custody. They were too lazy to write down a seed phrase, too complicated, people would say, or they would inadvertently reveal their seed phrase because they had access to it. So solve that problem. But the problem that people had with this wallet was, oh, if I lose all three, I lose all my crypto. That's not secure, right? What if? Okay, fair question. So Tangem has a newer wallet that's got a seed phrase option when you're setting it up, right? And so now I have two other wallets that have the seed phrase option. Now, if we go into the Tangem app, you can see that I'm managing all these card sets, right? They're showing me a set of 3, right? Here, that's another set of 3 that corresponds to this card. It's a little hard to see on my black desk. And then I've got this other card over here that's storing Caspa, and it's a commemorative Caspa edition of the Tangem card. Now I could put anything else in there too that Tangem supports, right? It doesn't mean I have to use it for Caspa, but that's kind of where I decided to put my Caspa. So, when you want to authorize a transaction, you hold the card to the back of the phone to authorize outgoing transactions. So it's a very simplistic system. Now, some people complain about wallets like Tangem or Arculus also. Arculus is very similar. Arculus also has a seed phrase option. You can do a restore. But I saw some reviews of these wallets saying that since there's no readout on the private key, then it's dangerous, right? Because I can't see what I'm authorizing. Well, I can sort of see the logic there, but I think that there are a little bit of trade-offs in the way these wallets work. The seed phrase is secure. You can see the wallet. You have, a genuine crypto wallet. It's just that the seed phrase is stored offline. Right, so I wanted to show you this tap signer card. I think this is I love this design. But it doesn't have a native app. It has a third-party app. It's Nunchuck, right? So if I go into Nunchuck, and you can see there that I have some wallets, and I think I only have one wallet there. Yeah, I think I did some of this over on my desktop. So in order to set up another wallet, I would need another key. So in order to add the key, I'm going to hit down here in keys, I'm going to hit plus. And so there's my choices, right? The air-gapped key, the software key, and the NFC key. So we're going to do the NFC key, and then we'll add the tap signer. And this is my tap signer card. We're going to hit continue here, and then it's going to scan that card. Do you wish to initialize it now? Yes. All right, so now it's generating. I'm going to let it automatically generate the key. That's another thing people want to do is create their own keys. They think that's safer somehow, but human beings are very bad at generating random keys, right? There are other ways to generate keys, like this Ella Paul Joy thing, which can generate a key for you, kind of offline, which is pretty cool. But and you can do it by rolling dice and all that stuff. But it's probably better to just let the wallet generate the key, right? Or initialize, right? So let's hit continue here. Oh boy. Okay, I haven't done this yet. There is no existing pin. Oh, hang on just a sec. Oh, okay. So they gave me, there's on the back of this, there is a pin code from the factory. So I'm going to enter that factory pin code. Oh, and you can see what I'm doing? I guess you can't. Oh, that's kind of weird. It looks different over there. Let's see. Okay, and boom, boom. All right, and then I'm going to enter my own PIN. All right. And now, what now? How do I get this keypad out of my way? All right. Oh, is it not long enough? Is that the problem? All right, let me just somehow... I hate when this happens. Damn, this makes me mad. Okay, do I just back out of this? Okay, let me try. No. Okay. Crap. Okay. Yeah, I'm supposed to be able to get continue, but that thing... All right, let me try this again. This always happens when we're live, doesn't it? Okay. Maybe I will make the pin as long as the one they gave me. I think that should do it. But no. Damn it. Okay. I can't get rid of this damn keypad. Wow. Okay. Bummer. All right. Let's see. If I add more, will it give it to me? Come on, please. You're just not cooperating with me, are you? Okay. Wow. Okay. Jeez. I'm going to make it even longer and see. Nope. Okay, and I still can't get this thing to go down to the next screen. Okay. Well, I guess this is going to be an epic fail because I cannot get this to work. Maybe I need to put this thing back here? No. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wait. It's... Well, that's weird. I see continue on that, but not in my thing. Okay. That's really weird. Okay. Let me maybe not show this. Is that what the problem is? It's like it just doesn't want me to show it to you guys. Okay. No, I still don't see the continue button. It's covered up by my keypad. Wow. That's crazy. It just will not let... Aha! It did. Finally. Finally, it went away. Okay. I just tapped it in the right spot and it disappeared. Okay. Continue. Okay. On the next screen, we scan your NFC key. Again, to activate this could take a few seconds. We'll give you an encrypted backup file for the key once the process is done. Aha. Okay, well, I guess I don't want you guys to see this. So let me hit got it. All right, it wants this scan. Come on, baby. Oh, it's going in progress here. 50%, 57. Okay, and then I think it's going to show me a seed phrase of some kind. Ah, okay. So it gave me some kind of weird code. And I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with that. I guess maybe put it in my note, but that seems kind of weird to do that, but I'm going to do it anyway, because God knows at some point they might ask me for that thing. And it's not pasting. Okay. Was I supposed to write that down? Oh my God, this is a disaster, isn't it? Okay. Wow. Okay. Oh, well. Wow. Let's go back to this again and see if I can get past all this. Yeah. We highly recommend that you keep a second copy of the password. The encrypted backup file you just saved is required if you want to recover the NFC key later. You'll also need the backup password printed on the back of the card. Well, I didn't know that I saved it. I didn't see it save anywhere. Okay, and then they want another copy of it. So God knows where it got saved. Maybe I can go back? Let me try that. No. Okay. Ugh, okay, it's going to scan it again. Now I've probably really screwed this up. It's going through this whole business again. Okay, there's the backup. So how do I save it? New quick note? And it doesn't. Wow, okay. It's just like not save to files. Okay, I'm going to do that. Wow. I'll save it in, oh God, I don't know. Right here, whatever. I'll just hit save. Whatever. Yeah, not real happy with the way that works. But hey, all right, so I saved it on my phone in the cloud somewhere. Okay. But I don't think that's the seed phrase per se. And I think the only way to restore the card would be to be physically present with the card. Let's call this tap signer. You guys must think I'm an idiot. And plus I misspelled tap signer. Okay, and there's that. Okay, run health check. Okay. Enter PIN. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. Bad auth. Okay, all right. Oh. Okay, let's try this again. It's always a bad idea to try to set up a brand new wallet live because there's so much like, plus a wallet I've never set up before in my life. Okay, I ran the health check. Can I just get out of this now? Okay, so now I have the tap signer key. Let's turn this guy back on. All right, and it doesn't look right. Okay, let's go over here. Okay, let's see, we're going to a new wallet. And I'll call this one tap signer 2. I'm just going to let it do the default stuff here. All right, and then I have to choose my key for this wallet, which is the tap signer. We'll hit continue. Okay, and then we'll create the wallet. Did I save this thing or did I not save this thing? Okay, whatever. I'll need the bits. Now I'm saving something else here. Okay. All right. Maybe I'll just, yeah, geez. Okay, maybe I'll just email it to myself. Will that work? Okay, there. Okay. Jeez. This is a real pain. Okay. Much more difficult than the Tangem, right? But their focus is on security. But hey, I did it in public and we got through it, so I can drop some BT. This is a BTC only wallet. Yeah. And so I don't know. I don't know how impressive that demo was. You saw me floundering. But some people flounder, they're like, oh, I like it to see that you have trouble too. Yeah, I guess. I thought that setup was a little bit cryptic and difficult, to be honest. That's my evaluation of that setup process. The Tangem wallet is much easier to set up. Right? It's much more straightforward. Okay, so let's see here. Barbara, I have been told to put my seed phrase on a thumb drive. Is that still safe? Best practice is to have it written down or put saved or recorded on some metal medium like a crypto tag offline. Personally, I think if you're in the privacy of your own home and you don't have any keyloggers or any malware on your computer, then I created an encrypted flash drive. So the encrypted flash drive, I set it up in a program called VeraCrypt, which is an open source program. And let me see here. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, it's an old video. It's from 2017, but VeraCrypt hasn't changed that much. So I would highly recommend that. And then on that encrypted flash drive, I have some seed phrases. Call me crazy, but I consider that to be pretty safe and secure. So, and of course, I've got a pretty decent well, I guess you would call it the password for VeraCrypt, right? So when I think the drive is in there. So if I launch VeraCrypt, in order to gain access to the drive, I have to select the device, and then when I mount, it wants my password. So only I know this password. So I consider this to be pretty safe and secure, but a lot of people say you shouldn't have your seed phrase written down in any electronic format whatsoever. But personally, I've been doing this for many years, and I've never lost any crypto because of that. Yeah. Oh, that's my answer to you, Barbara. What exchange can be used in USA to get altcoins? Well, Coinbase has a big selection of different altcoins. If we go to Coinbase, they used to only have like 4 or 5 different coins you could buy on Coinbase. Like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and 1 or 2 others. I mean, it was a really long time before they even got Cardano and whatnot. But now they've got a lot of different coins. Like if you go here to spot, and every time they want to show me how to use this, pardon me, if we go here to spot, you can see all the pairs that they've got, right? And they also have like BTC pairs. You can swap Bitcoin for Ethereum. We were talking about that earlier. But they have, US dollar coin, their stable coin. So, yeah, I mean, it's like got a lot. And if you have to go use something funky just to get a hold of some crazy coin you've never heard of, that's kind of a moonshot. It's kind of a 1,000,000 to 1. Generally, when you use crazy dexes in order to get some coin that you saw or heard about on a YouTube video or on Telegram or WhatsApp or Discord or something, if it's not an outright scam, and it could just be a completely outright scam, right? You swap a token and you get nothing back. Or you could, you swap your token, you get this new coin, whatever it is, and then it's like, has no liquidity and it's basically worthless. So, it's better if you're going to invest in crypto, try to stick with the high-end stuff instead of the long shot stuff. That long shot stuff is like get rich quick, and the types of people out there talking about those kind of coins a lot of them are scammers, right? They've bought a whole bunch of it, so now they're pumping the coin. That's why I don't pump coins on this live stream, right? Stick with the top coins, right? If you're looking, if you can go to CoinGecko. If you're looking at a coin, someone says, "Oh yeah, you got to try this coin out," and then this is Uniswap's ranked 22, and if you see a coin that's ranked, 3,000. it should raise your eyebrow, right? It's a moonshot when you're doing that kind of stuff, right? Don't get sucked into this whole get rich quick stuff, right? Be a stable investor. I don't talk about investing that much. I focus more on security. Once you've made your investment, you got to hold on to it and make sure it doesn't get stolen from you. Or you get tricked into giving it away to a hacker or a scammer, or you don't know, you keep it on an exchange and the exchange goes bankrupt, like FTX or Celsius, right? Self-custody is the best way to store cryptocurrency, and a hardware wallet is probably one of the best ways. Was the best kind of wallet to use, right? As long as you are aware and if you've got $5,000 worth of crypto, you should take the time to figure out how to do self-custody, right? It's not like, oh, I just downloaded this app, it's so easy. Yeah, okay. I'm talking about a little bit of research, maybe read Andreas Antonopoulos' book. Try to get some real education on crypto rather than just watching YouTube videos of guys with their eyes bulging out telling you about some new coin. That's not serious investing. There, I said it. Barbara K., you're welcome. If a keylogger, when it's written, not that good. Yes, that's correct. Right. If you've got a keylogger and you're typing in that seed phrase and you're saving it in a text file on your encrypted hard drive, then they would have access to that seed phrase. That is true. I was talking about storing seed phrases on encrypted flash drives. You could mitigate that first by having malware software, security software, and virus security software, or you could disconnect your computer while you're doing that from the internet and just, or you could use a different computer that has never been connected to the internet that can read that encrypted flash drive, and then you can write your seed phrases in that way. So there are lots of, safe and secure ways to store a seed phrase electronically. But Andreas Antonopoulos would disagree with me. He says write it down on paper in at least 2 copies. Right. What he did not mention was metal medium. So I have some metal medium over here. We can turn this off here. Whoops. And the good people at Domino sent this to me. It's called the Bit Plate. And it's pretty straightforward and simple. Basically, what you want to do, I'm not sure what this is for. Oh, I think maybe this is for erasing. You're going to get a couple of these plates. They'll even give you some earplugs, because when you use this metal puncher, it is loud. So you might want to put earplugs in while you're doing that. But basically, you start off with the felt tip. Let's see if I can get it out of here. Okay, that's cool. Now, you have to be very meticulous and mindful when you're doing this. But these are the words. I don't know what this ABC stuff is. Maybe if you have more than one. I think that's kind of cool. I didn't realize that it had room for so many different. Let me get this out. All right, I'm just gonna open this guy up here, break this seal. This one seems heavier. Okay. Well, this is 24. Now, I haven't gone through all of the instructions, but it'd probably be best to just stick to what has it got, 2 sides? Ah, okay. So this is a 12, right? So you start on one side and you finish on the other. But for one wallet, you really only need, make sure I haven't muted my mic, you really only need column A to store seed phrase. And then for the 24 words, you know, you'll start on one side and then finish on the other side. And so in this case, you only need the A column. Now you might be wondering, oh wait, Rex, it only has 4 letters. Why? Aren't seed phrase words longer than 4 letters? Well, they are to the human mind, but not so much to the computer. The first 4 letters of any word on the BIP39 list are unique. So let's take a look at what I mean by that. So if we go to the BIP39 word list, every seed phrase is taken from this list of words, right? So it's not just any old word, right? There's a list of 2,048 words, and every seed phrase is a combination. And you might think to yourself, well, 2,048, that's not that much. But when you talk about, you know, high-end math and combinations and permutations, and how many with 24 words or even 12 words, the number of combinations is astronomical, right? Akin to the known, you know, the number of seconds in the known universe that have, you know, that kind of stuff. Crazy. But let's take a look at, let's go down to, say, this one right here, blanket. Okay, well, blanket is longer than 4, right? Blanket is B-L-A-N-K-E-T. But if you go to the next word, you'll see that it's B-L-A-S, right? So the 4th letter changes. And the word before it is B-L-A-M. Right? So there's only one word on the list that has those 4 letters, B-L-A-N. So all of these words are unique up to 4 letters, right? You got B-O-T-T, and then the next word is B-O-U-N, right? So 4 spots is enough to record your word. And then you can always go look up the word if you're doing a restore that needs the word. And it needs you to write the entire word. You can just refer to this list as you're doing your restore. And so the first thing you'll do is with your Sharpie, you know, you'll put in your, I'm sorry, it only has one. Now I know why there's different letters. Because, let's see, if it's B-L-A-T-T, then we would put it here. B, and then L. Right, so it does only hold one phrase. All right, you have to buy more. B-L-A, whoops, T, whatever. I'm just giving you an example, right? And then you would record each of the first 4 letters for each column here. And then when you're done, then you use this puncher. And you'll put the puncher on top and push down. And as you push down on the puncher, you'll hear like a really loud click, and it'll make an indentation. So this is a very safe and secure way to record your seed phrase. Waterproof, fireproof, fade-proof, all that stuff. Freeze-proof. So they were kind enough to send me this Domino bit plate, and it's a great way to store your seed phrase, right? As opposed to simply writing it down. And this you do offline, right? You don't type it into a computer or anything like that. L, not K. Yeah, I think I messed that one up. Trying to do it live. You don't think that's how it works? Yeah, you use the letter. Yeah, I was wrong about that. I apologize. I was like, yeah, oh, wow, you can put like 26 different seed phrases in here. And I'm like, no. Each column is a letter, right? You have to choose between the letters. So that's correct. Sorry about that. I had never run across this one before. Now, there are other ways to do this. There are a lot of other products out there. Bitfunnel has like little plates. Well, let's show me. Huh, okay. Okay. It used to have like letters. I don't see. I haven't done this. All right. Okay. Ledger.com. Let's go to this one. All right, here. Same thing, but here you can see the letters, right? So basically you're going to get a whole bunch of like tiles, for all the letters of the alphabet, and you align the tiles in here. And this is a much kind of easier way to wrap your head around what you're doing. And once again, we only get 4 slots for each word because, as I mentioned, they're unique up to 4 letters. So you have that same situation with this one. The only drawback to this one is because of, the letter tiles, it's possible that you could open it up and accidentally like drop them all, or it could get like smashed really hard and then the letters would scatter, that kind of thing. Probably not very likely, but the domino bit plate and the crypto tag are both the kind that you actually punch in. Yeah, so the crypto tag Zeus is very similar. All right, albeit maybe a little easier. Yeah, that's pretty much the same thing. They just have the letters of the alphabet in a grid. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This one is a little more complicated because there's a book that corresponds to all these codes. So, of course, if you lose the codes, then you might have trouble reading it. They are online, and no one, even if someone finds the code book, they would need to find this as well and kind of interpret it. But for the end user, you open up the code book and you look for the code for a certain word. It's a little more difficult. Is it safe to use Ledger for long-term investments? Yeah, I mean, that's the best way to store your crypto. I mean, if you're talking about storing crypto, whether short-term or long-term, then the Ledger device is a hardware wallet. Now, there are other hardware wallets out there. A lot of people say the Ledger isn't safe because of all this FUD surrounding their firmware updates and that sort of thing. So, I mean, if you're asking me if it's safe compared to other hardware wallets, you would have to kind of decide. I personally don't think that there's any kind of backdoor built into the firmware, but there are other hardware wallets out there. Ledger is relatively easy to use and has a lot of industry support. So a Ledger Nano X supports a lot of cryptos. So depending on your needs, I mean, if all you're storing is Bitcoin, then there's a lot of other wallets to choose from that maybe you don't care that, Ledger supports a lot of different cryptos. You might want to go with something like a cold card. But you watched me set up that tap signer. It was a little complicated, even for me, and I've been doing this a while. But like I said, I just pulled it out. I'd never done it before. This one is, it's security in mind, but this is a Bitcoin only solution, right? And then you also have the Trezor. The newest one is the Trezor Safe 3, which is a great, inexpensive wallet that's easy to use, but it doesn't support as many cryptos as the Ledger device does. So if all you care about is Bitcoin, then, evaluate whether you want Ledger, Trezor, or Cold Card, or about any wallet, any hardware wallet out there supports Bitcoin, just about. There are some that are ETH oriented, but most of the hardware wallets you can buy that support Bitcoin. Don't forget to leave the thumbs up. Yeah. No, it's only safe up to 6 months. Okay. I don't know if you're being facetious or not. Not short-sighted, Prof. I don't think that says the letters to create the words. Yes, you're right. UTMO_GR. Does that stand for Grand Rapids? That's where we are. Let's see. Of course. Let me see. I'm going to make sure. Wallets should at least put generic instructions to set up. Yeah, I think there is a little instruction booklet. Or maybe not. Maybe they expect you to kind of go to their website for let's see, yeah. Maybe they have something here, how it works. Okay, yeah, they kind of go through it on their website, but I remember when I was selling computers back in the late 90s, a Mac computer always came with a book. What did we call them back then? I think we call a manual or whatever that like walked you through, plugging it in and booting it up and, all that stuff. And then people started getting bent out of shape when Macs stopped including books with their computer because I think it was just easier for them to have the instructions on their website. So I think a lot of companies are like that now. Anyone experienced with Keystone Tablet Plus? I have not used the Keystone Tablet Plus. Oops. Let's see here. Keystone Tablet Plus. Oh, I think these are for storing seed phrases, right? Just like the ones I was showing you earlier. So similar to the Bill Fodl, where you're going to get a whole bunch of letter tiles, and then you'll arrange them in this holder to represent your words. And as you can see, you get 4 slots for each word. Right? Pretty easy to use and pretty inexpensive. I have never used this before, but I've used products like this, and this is a pretty good price. Right, the Mac User's Guide. Yeah, Joanne L. You're dating yourself, Joanne. Oh. When I was the very first computer I used, I was in 5th grade. Was it 5th grade? I think it was 5th grade back in the 70s. And if we had been doing good in math, they let us take this computer class. And so we went into this room, and then he taught us how to program using BASIC, which is a very, fundamental computer programming language. And the computer that we used was a teletype machine. You sat down at this thing. Dave Madden, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Oh, okay. Yes. You sat down at this terminal and it had a keyboard, and the keys were like cylinders that were like raised up this high, and there was no screen. There was a big giant roll of yellow paper, and there was a cradle over to the side. The cradle had a place for a telephone. Back in the old days, we had a telephone receiver that had like an earpiece and a mouthpiece. You would dial the number to the computer center, and then when it answered, it would sound like a fax, right? It's like beep, boo, beep, boo. And then you would just stick that phone receiver in the cradle, and it would communicate with that terminal. And like it would just like, I can't do this right. It'd be like password. And then you'd type in your password, or username, password. And then it would say, welcome to so-and-so computer, blah, 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 ready, and then you had lots of options, but it was all text-based, right? That was my very first computer. My first PC was a 386 SX with a 45 gigabyte hard drive, with a 45 megabyte hard drive and a 16 megahertz processor. And it came with 1 megabyte of RAM, if I'm not mistaken. And when I went in and bought it, the guy at the store said you should upgrade it to 2. So I got it with 2 megabytes of RAM. Right. It didn't even come with Windows. It came with some weird thing. I forget what it was. Yeah, I've been around a while. I'm 60. Yeah. When I took my freshman year of computer science, and this was 87, we still had no, we didn't use the punch cards, but we did have like a tape that would run with holes in it that you could feed back in. Yeah. Yeah. Your tap signer card ID, you were revealed when recording. I didn't notice. Yeah, I was trying not to. I think, I'm probably not going to put any crypto in there just to be on the safe side. Maybe reinitialize it if that's possible. And if it's not possible, then I can just buy another one. They aren't that much. Tap signer. Yeah, I don't know if I probably shouldn't have done that live, but I did kind of want to go through it. Yeah, it's only $40. I think I could probably reset it to factory, though. There's probably a way to do that if I felt like I revealed anything. I tried not to reveal what was on the back there, but I might have. So, yeah. Just another experiment. Did my question about ETF went through? LOL. Let me see, Emmanuel. Probably. Oh. No, I don't see it. I see you saying hi. Been watching Ledger videos. Okay. I see Droppin had a question here about NFTs on a Keystone. Got a Keystone and it crashes when I send ADA NFTs. Too much memory or something? That seems odd. I've never, I don't know. I'm assuming it supports ADA NFTs. You're probably using OKX. So I think that does support NFTs. Yeah. I don't think I have it on here. I see it. I'm sorry. I'm playing with my phone. You guys can't see me here. I'm in OKX which is the go-to third-party software for using your Keystone Pro. And yeah, they got NFTs here. Oh yeah, I can claim an NFT. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I've never tried to send an ADA-based NFT into this wallet. That seems odd that it would crash the wallet. But I could check into that for you, but I don't have any ADA NFTs at the moment. It'd be too difficult for me. Emmanuel, maybe you could, your thoughts again on long-term effects of ETF. Okay. Yes, Emmanuel, I'm sorry. I see it now. Sorry, it was, thanks for the email. I'll respond after the stream. Okay. My thoughts again on long-term ETFs. I'm still, the jury's a little bit still out for me. Of course, we've been hoping for NFT or ETF, a Bitcoin ETF for since 2017, and that was mostly to allow newcomers or institutional investors that are, can't, don't want to sign up for an exchange or set up a wallet and do all that. They can just call their broker and invest in Bitcoin. So the idea was that it will open up a whole untapped market of demand of people with money that want to invest in Bitcoin. That's the idea. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. But I've watched a couple of videos where they talk about because of the way they structured the EFT, it sort of bypasses the custody of Bitcoin. Instead of being an in-kind redemption, it's cash redemption. So even though the companies still have to purchase and hold Bitcoin by law in order to sell shares of this, they don't have to settle their contracts in BTC. They settle contracts in cash. So it seems like the big boys in finance kind of figured out a way to mitigate some of the benefits by doing them as cash redemption. And also, I've heard some stuff about people saying they'll with all their influence, they're going to request a whole bunch of new features of the Bitcoin blockchain, and with deep pockets, they can pay developers, and they'll come up with a new fork of Bitcoin, and it will have more regulatory compliance built into it, that kind of thing. This isn't on the horizon in any way or form. It's just something a speculation that I've heard. And they'll take this fork of Bitcoin, and because there'll be so much industry support for this fork, this will be the fork that gets adopted. They will call this fork Bitcoin, and they'll tell people that if you want to invest in a Bitcoin ETF, then you have to use this new fork of Bitcoin. And then the previous fork, or the current fork that we're using now, will be marginalized, right? It'll kind of be running on a separate thing. And who knows, it might just die off because most of the people will be using the regulatory approved fork. Or they might outlaw it. They might say, it's illegal to use this other one because, it's conducive to money laundering and terrorist financing, all that stuff they've been saying about Bitcoin. So there are some pitfalls I see with the long-term effects of a Bitcoin ETF. But in general, barring any conspiracy theories, I think it's good news for people that are, investing in Bitcoin. Also, I'm a little leery that they're not really using Bitcoin as designed. They're just sort of holding it rather than actually using it. The promise of Bitcoin was a decentralized currency that could be sent across the room or across the world with equal ease. And we're not seeing that. It's more of a commodity now. Anyway, sorry I missed that. I saw your donation, but I didn't see the question there. I apologize. Anybody hear about Coinbase restricting users from withdrawing crypto from their Coinbase accounts? Well, Coinbase has policies, and if you go in and buy crypto with your bank account, they will usually put a hold on your withdrawals depending on your situation. Each Coinbase user is evaluated specifically, right? They look at all of your metrics, how long have you had the account? What is your normal type of behavior? How much money are we talking about going back and forth here? All that kind of stuff. I've been using Coinbase for many years, but I don't make huge lump purchases. I'm usually maybe buying 100 or 200 or maybe 1,000 at the most. And I'm usually able to withdraw right away. But that's because I've had my account for so long. So a lot of people, they don't read that fine print. They make a purchase. You're allowed to trade right away. You can swap your dollars for Bitcoin right away, but you can't always withdraw the Bitcoin right away because they're waiting for that financial transaction to confirm, the legacy confirm, which is like 3 to 5 business days. And you'll get a lot of people on Reddit that say Coinbase is a scam, which, come on, Coinbase is a scam? Give me a break. But they'll say, oh, Bitcoin, they took my money and they won't let me withdraw, blah, blah, blah. Well, usually it's because they're doing something sketchy, either on purpose or because they just can't figure out how to use Coinbase. And so Coinbase thinks there's fraud, and so they lock the funds or whatever. That's pretty rare. But as I mentioned, the Bitcoin has a different policy based on each user, right? So it's not a blanket policy. The blanket policy is 3 to 5 business days. And sometimes they enforce that, and sometimes they don't, depending on your status, your account status. Coinbase must restrict withdrawals if your KYC isn't completed. That's another one too. If back in the day, in 2017, I was able to open a Coinbase account with a username and a password. And that's it. And then I could connect my bank account. So there was a little bit of identifying information, because it's my bank account. But Coinbase did not ask me to submit my ID or anything like that. Well, now they do. Now they, when you set up a Coinbase account, they need to sync up your bank using Plaid, and then you have to go through KYC, submit documents, and if the documents don't get scanned right, or they're fuzzy, or they're fraudulent, then they're going to hold the account. They're erring on the side of caution. So you're going to hear a lot of people claiming, oh, Bitcoin's holding my funds, but there's generally an explanation for it. As the dollar continues to inflate, the ETFs will explode. Let's hope so. Dan Westra? Dan Trouble Westra? What do you like best, native SegWit, legacy, or nested SegWit? I'm using legacy. I tend to use the default. The default now in Ledger Live is native SegWit. I've never heard of nested SegWit. Maybe I'm a little behind the times. Legacy is an older format, but I think it's most exchanges are backwards compatible with it. But you might run into a situation where it says, like, you try to make a withdrawal and it doesn't like that address or something. So I tend to stick. Native SegWit is more recent and supposedly has more features. So you can use legacy, but if you're going to set up new wallets, the default is usually native SegWit. ARK purchased 10 million worth of Bitcoin and is the only asset in their ETF. Very cool. Seems like a lot of people are affected. Oh, by this Coinbase thing? Okay. Of course, you might kind of be in a bubble. You're hearing a lot of complaints because you're, looking for them. Like you're having an issue and you go into Reddit, say, are you having trouble withdrawing from Coinbase? And of course, you're going to get a lot of posts about it. But there are hundreds, thousands of people out there that have no problems withdrawing from Coinbase, and they're not going to be posting on Reddit because they don't have any problems. So, you know, just kind of keep that in mind. Crazy network fees these days. Hope it won't last. Yes, that's true. Bitcoin fees are very high right now. ARC, as in the crypto coin. Oh. So guys, I'm not feeling 100% tonight. I talked to Kenny earlier and mentioned that I wasn't sure I was going to do the stream tonight. I've had kind of stomach trouble today. Have been sleeping most of the day and got myself up and ready to do the live stream, but it's a bit of a struggle. So I'm going to go ahead and sign out now. I know I didn't move a lot of crypto, and you saw me messing around with that tap sign. Pardon me, that tap signer that didn't work out as well as I'd hoped, but I think I got it set up eventually without, hopefully, not revealing too much. It's empty. So anyway, like I said, I want to thank Kenny, as always, for all the news stories. Thank you, Barbara, for your good wishes. Thank you, Dan. It was good seeing you this week at the meeting. It's always good to see Dan in person. And I didn't see JDO tonight. I think he's fed up with me muting my mic. I'm sure he'll be back. I'm going to go ahead and cut out early. Don't forget, we do this every Saturday night, and I wanted to make sure that I did it on Saturday because most people are expecting me to be here. So I do it on Saturday. I thought about postponing it until tomorrow, but usually it's better if I do it on Saturday. That's when everyone's expecting me. So I showed up, did the best I could. I will be doing this again next Saturday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have pretty much been doing my Wednesday every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think I've done that at that time slot for a few weeks. It seems like a pretty good time slot for my Wednesday morning hardware wallet roundup, afternoon, however you want to think about it. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon. Good night, all. Yeah, check out the playoffs.